Okay, I'm live. Sorry, I don't usually like to filter my live videos, but as you can tell, I'm doing a live from my bathroom because it's the only place that there are no children and no sleeping husbands. And I just had like a very impromptu desire to go live and talk about this idea of making the right investments at the right time. And if you've been around for a little while, you've probably heard me say this, right? Like, I believe that the whole idea of like, you have to spend money to make money is like total bullshit. But I do believe that there are investments that can really help you grow your business, achieve your goals, and all of those things. And what I have seen is that it's very challenging sometimes for us, me, all of us, to really feel like proactive and in charge of what investments you're making. What I see a lot of is like that reactive kind of investment, right? Like you see a program out there or you see people that you admire doing a program and you're like, I need to do that, right? And right now I'm just in the middle of a program that just has felt like such the right investment at the right time. And so because I have a really concrete example, I wanted to just dive into that a little bit more, like what that looks like, why I realized that, like why I believe in it so much, and that sort of thing. So, by the way, this is not a paid sponsorship. This is from the heart. So I have been following Brenna McGowan for a while now. And then she launched her pre-launch program for the first time last year, and I was like, I don't know. And then when she was launching it again for the fall, I was like, basically, she did like an early bird something, and I was like, I'm in. Like, I want to do it. And here's why I was so convinced, right? So first of all, I don't do a lot of courses. There's a few reasons for that. Mostly, I think that you get like course fatigue. I think that a lot of things can be actually like learned without doing a course when you need to learn them. And that courses can often kind of, if a course doesn't complement your strategy, you're wasting your time. But of course, to know that, you have to know your strategy, right? And so when it came time to sign up for the program, I was already starting to think about next year and my kind of growth goals overall, right? So my primary strategy for next year is to focus on a 3-launch cycle for Business Genius Bootcamp that will then lead into Business Genius Masters and basically, see how far I can take that from a revenue perspective. So that's my primary strategy. And so I realized that from a priorities perspective, I really needed to focus on like optimizing how I launch, right? So my launches have been successful so far. I have been like very happy with them. They're totally validated. My launch has been good, but now it's like, okay, if I'm going to go all in on a group program as a core revenue streams, then I need to optimize around that. So that was a strategic reason that I was like, I have to be a part of this program. It's going to help me. It is like a very tangible, action-oriented program. So that's kind of how it all started, right? But now I'm starting to see kind of like the other benefits of it being such in support of your strategy. So benefit 1, if you will, is that I am now, so it's mid-November, end of November, I already have all of my content strategy done for December and January. I have all of my December copy written. That's 2 emails a week, 5 Instagram posts a week. Still need to make the graphics for those, right? But these core parts are done. They're aligned with a pre-launch strategy that is going to ideally fuel sales into Business Genius Bootcamp. And I feel like because it's not just like homework, but it's like the foundational and most important work for my business, it's just, I'm like basically by design getting ahead of the catch-up cycle that I know we all get in, right? Where suddenly you're like, oh my God, I'm launching soon. Oh my God, I need to like hustle and get all of these like emails done and content done and all of that, right? Which is why launching is so soul-sucking. And so just to feel like I'm that ahead of it already and that I have this like strategy and I understand the framework that I'm moving forward with is huge. It's really, really making a difference for me. And so it's like when I always say, I also always, aside from talking about making the right investment at the right time, I also talk a lot about doing the right work at the right time, right? And so what I've experienced in pre-launch plan program, sorry, Brenna, is that I am by design doing the right work at the right time. So like I invested in something that is requiring me to do the right work at the right time. And that's like really amazing, right? Because rather than it feeling like homework, I feel like I'm working on my business and I'm working on my strategic priorities. So that is another key piece. There's this other piece that I kind of like realized, and this was just kind of an accidental moment where I was like, oh, okay, is that being in the pre-launch program now and me being able to do live like this and talk about it or other things is actually also like an extended pre-launch marketing opportunity, right? Like I am now already talking about the fact that I'm launching at the end of January. And even though I'm not officially in pre-launch mode and in that like content strategy structure, I'm already talking about it. I'm already planting a seed for it. And I know for certain, right, that like continuous exposure and just kind of like reminders of like what your programs are and what do people say, always be seeding, is really, really important. So I just wanted to come on and share that, right? Because what I have like, I guess just to sum it up, right? Like what I've noticed is that by being in this program, I am not only like allowing myself to get ahead on my strategic priorities, and I'm like really focusing on one key area of my business that I'm looking to improve and optimize, but it's also streamlining kind of my stress levels and like overall operations, right? Because I'm getting out of that. And I'm also like having a chance to talk about it. So anyway, I want to share this example because I know that sometimes, I personally do this a lot, right? Like I talk about some abstract things. And so I just wanted to bring it to life a little bit more, and just share like what it can look like when you do that. And I want to be clear, right? Like the foundations of this are having that strategy, right? Understanding what the needs of your business are before you get into reactive mode, being proactive about those decisions, right? All things that are a result of like you really learning how to think strategically and simplify your business to achieve the outcomes that you want. So if you are in this place where you're like, that sounds great, like I wish I didn't spend my money on dumb things and actually only spent my money on the right things, like start with the strategy for sure. And talking about ways to do that. I have something going on right now, which I've been talking about, which is Business Genius Weekly, which is like ongoing support to, focus on the right work at the right time. It's a 12-month program, weekly check-ins. Every week you can ask me a question. Questions like, should I invest in this thing? And I can help you think through some of the variables, so that you're really focused on being proactive, getting things done that you want, and just like really, really always close to the money and close to the results. So anyway, more about that at the link in my bio or DM me. But I just want to share this story and also just like follow Brenna if you're not. Massive shout out to Brenna because like seriously, it's a very, very, aside from the fact that it's the right investment at the right time, it's also a really, really good program. And I'm so excited about what I'm learning in there. So that's all for now. Thanks for listening. Bye.